Caner Universe, it's Caner Tip Tuesday. We have an insightful and exciting segment today demonstrating, we get asked all the time, hey, is there such a thing as cane sparring in ACSD? If so, how do you do that? How does it work? What are the benefits of doing that? And also highlighting that versus cane play. Before we do that, a warm welcome to those of you who are here on the channel for the first time. Right off the bat, if you like the content, hit the subscribe button and hit that little bell icon so that you don't miss any future content. And avail yourself of the #1, no cost, the free resource, the Cane Clarity Call. Text the letters CCC to 305-745-7839. In less than 24 hours, we will be on a call with you discussing everything from canes to cane training and anything related to the cane culture so that you get it right from the onset. Doesn't matter whether you're a beginner or you're an advanced instructor, go ahead and do that. It's gonna save you time, money, and frustration. So cane sparring, what is the value? So cane sparring, the way we did this from the onset with ACSD, this is certainly not a new concept, nor is it exclusive, by the way, to ACSD. The way we did this, cane sparring, is you have to use, first of all, we chose to do it with cane drones. It's a padded, it's not like you're taking one of these, this is a player cane, and you're putting padding around it. No, that's not the way we do that, because even that way, this would still not be very practical because this is a bazooka, right? You're gonna get injuries. So this in particular is a 7/8 cane. Imagine doing, and the reason that I point that out is because you say, hey, Filipino martial arts, they pad themselves up. Yeah, but granted, they pad themselves up and they go at it using an eskrima stick. This is not an eskrima stick. This, for instance, is an octagonal heavy, and so even if you're padded up and you're going this way, you're gonna do some serious damage. Look at the difference between, this is an octagonal heavy training cane versus a player cane. And the reason I'm highlighting this is because the player cane is typically the cane that is used in cane play. So that when you see me using, but you can see the thickness in this. One is a bazooka versus the other one's that's designed to be lighter on purpose so that you can move swiftly with it. But cane sparring, safety always first. And you're gonna have your partner, in this case, he's gonna be padded up, and come on over so we can see. This was the flex gear. It's still around. Flex gear is still around. This is what we used. We also padded the forearms. You can definitely, we recommend the wrist and the forearms, get some groin protection, and also the shins. You want that padded as well. Now, we're not gonna go all out or anything like that. Chest, we never did a chest protection. You are free to protect yourself. You use as much padding as you feel comfortable with. But we don't do a lot of hokey pokey stuff. Sometimes when you get in here and you're locked up and you're wrapped up, if you can get this out and go at it, that is noted. But where the real value of this, and the way this was, is we would have an understanding, bang, bang, and then boom, we would go at it, and you have this thing going on. It gives you an opportunity to go all out with a power shot template, and we used it a lot for testing. In other words, what is the strategy once you're here and I'm there that is really going to give you the greater probability of ending this thing quick? And we discovered that it wasn't hanging around here strategically and moving around with all this footwork and jabbing, and we went through those kinds of protocol. And that's totally fine in this type of interaction. What we learned is that when you're here and you say go, moving off of there, it's really difficult not to get clocked when you're coming in, and you're not coming in wildly. So if I'm coming in out here and he knows what he's doing, boom, he's gonna get to me. It's just like a trained fighter versus somebody who's throwing wild shots, right? So what are the advantages of it and what are the benefits of doing this? Well, it does train you in seeing incoming attacks coming in and striking, defending, and moving, and it's coming down here and he has to move because you are going to make contact. With this, just because it's padded doesn't mean that you don't feel it. It will leave a mark. Our experience is that it does not shatter bones like like a standard, one of our standard canes do. But it will leave a mark, okay? And so this is, you can do it, you can set it up in a sporting situation. We have two judges. You have who are watching red and black, right? So these come in red and black and they're clicking. You can do that, or you can have an honesty policy system where, hey, you got hit, you raise the hand automatically, and it keeps going that way. So the benefit of it is in this context, right, where it's attack and defend, and we're going all out. Do you get hit? You get hit. You get hit in the hands. Sometimes you clash together with it. You go knuckle on knuckle. Absolutely, all these things happen, and you can come to an agreement as to how you're going to do that. That is what ACSD sparring with gear. He's wearing the gear. I'm wearing the gear. We're using the drone canes. Some of the disadvantages, tactically, what is that you're going to be in this situation and be moving around? Typically, no. That was all replaced with live scenario training. Scenario training, brief description, I'm not going to get into it, but essentially you've been working a set of skills. That's what's going to happen here in February at the Winter Cane Immersion with the American Cane Boxing curriculum. And then we have a variety of tactical scenarios, everything from a home invasion to an abduction to what happens if you go to the floor, they pull a knife on you, they pull a gun. You've worked through the skill sets. We give you the rules of engagement in but we don't in the scenario, but we don't tell you how it's going to play out because you don't know how it's going to play out there either. Okay, so that's what ACSD did for tactical training. So again, this sparring, there's a time and a place for it. The kids love it. It's a lot of fun. You can put in rules, you can not. You can come to an agreement to how that works. Cane play is a bit different. Cane play is actually the two-person component of cane flow, the movement-based, all right, art and moving in here. So with cane play, you're going to use the typical cane is going to be a 7/8 player cane. We called it the player because that's what it was designed for. You can see that right on our site. And the idea is we have the understanding that we're not coming in here with power shots. My goal is not to disintegrate him and just run him over like it might be when you're padded up. We are using the real deal. And so here, before you do any of this, there is a template that you work on that starts putting the skills in place for this cane play now. Where the idea, it's kind of like a gotcha game, right? So he moves in, he comes, right? And so it's attack and defend, right? But you're moving and taking out, and if it comes down low, strikes the hook low, moving the leg and coming right out. The horn is used, two hands are used, and you see that I switched my hands, and I don't know how much of that went out of there, but the idea is to move in here. You can move with two hands, you can use the horn to bring it back in, back out, but I have to demonstrate control in doing this. If it clips you, what are some of the disadvantages? There's no padding when you do it. Can you have the understanding and say, hey, let's do this, but we're gonna pad up? You can. It's not the way we do it at ACSD, but please instruct coaches, and for your students, you are free to pad up as much as you feel comfortable, as much or as little. Typically, the way we've done this and the way we do it at the immersions is you're looking at something like this with movement, high-low, attack and defend, not choreographed. So it starts training you to see an incoming attack. You have to exert the control two-handed, and you're using the footwork as well. You're using cane passes, right, leg passes to come out of there. Tap, 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 tap is typically what you hear. I haven't seen that. I've seen it with the in the Canary Islands, the Canary stick fighting. We love them, and that's the closest thing to it that we're familiar with as far as this goes. So just to show the differences, because we get asked, hey, just pad yourself up and go. They do it, in XYZ, or they do it. That's great that they do it there, but we're not that. And we respect that. But our intent is very different. It's a tactical system. It is movement based. And then it's going to have these components to it that have other benefits in practicing that attack and defend. Okay, so just wanted to give you a visual of that. Now, we mentioned that scenario-based training, and that's what's going to be happening. I'll take the time here to talk about. We have 4 spots remaining for winter 2022. It's February 15th through the 18th. That is our a global event where we have caners coming in from all over for this hands-on training, and we're going to be covering the American Cane Boxing curriculum. If that is something that interests you, so you walk out of there credentialed with that graduate certification, go ahead and text winter 2022 to 305-745-7839. Let's have a conversation before you enroll in anything. Let's answer all your questions. Make sure that this training is something that's going to work for you. Again, we invite you, regardless of where you are in the timeline of your training, to go ahead and learn more about how to get started by doing likewise and texting that CCC to 305-745-7839. I'm Joe Robaina for American Cane Self-Defense. Thanks for watching. Keep caning. Stay safe.